We bless and thank you for your presence here, and we are aware, very aware, that what this beautiful seeker has asked about is a huge issue. Many of you see loved ones involved in perhaps daily habits that are not positive for them, and others still simply see that their loved ones are angry, bitter, and going without the beautiful input of their spiritual team, who may be calling to them and waiting to offer a lot of beautiful wisdom, and yet this is not heard or felt. Their loved one is blocking it out. So we would just ask that in those moments that you turn to your higher self and say, is this something that I should comment on? Is this something that I should bring up? And they may say to you, and this happened to our writer recently, they may say to you, yes, go ahead and present what you know of this information and this situation, but don't expect or need this person to change so that you feel better. I do feel we are all experiencing these activations to some degree, each of us in varying phases of our own process, but we are all experiencing them nevertheless. I have noticed the right and left hemispheres of the brain sending electrical currents through the nervous system. Lots of talk about it, that it being affected, and I for one can attest to the overall stimulation of the nervous being recalibrated and the lingering sensations of these jolts or currents of the electricity running through the body. For myself, personally, I do not feel that there is not one chakra that is not being affected by these radical currents of energy, better known as light body activations. We are being upgraded energetically beyond our mind's ability to even fathom what we are currently undergoing. I have noticed a pulsating vibration in the third eye area, with lots of ear activities, such as a sense of pressure, or better described as a pulsating sensation of air being dispersed from the ears. The particular side, bringing in the voice of the higher self, right speech. I would like to give an overview of spiritual stages that people will probably go through on their path to inner peace. Most people will go through roughly these stages in order because they reach inner peace, which is stage 5. That said, of course, such a list has to be a generalization. Models are never completely correct in all cases. Some people may skip a stage, and for some people certain stages will look a bit different than is described here. Some people may be in one stage one day and in another stage the next day. However, for a lot of people, it will be roughly accurate. So I wouldn't recommend using this model as a way to determine who is more spiritually advanced than someone else, let alone who is more valuable as a person than someone else. Source loves everyone infinitely, including those who are at the lowest stage in the model. However, this can give you some insight on what you may need to do if you want to progress on your path towards inner peace. This model can also help you understand other people better, including spiritual teachers, which may help you decide which teachers and which messages you want to listen to. Also, this model can give you a new perspective on what kind of people you will and will not be compatible with when it comes to dating. And yet, the path is still theirs, and the choice is still theirs. So we are going to bring in as much light as we can now into any situation that you are stressed about, perhaps for yourself, and perhaps for your loved one, or several loved ones. It could be an animal or a human. It could be a group of people, or it could be the environment. Just think of it, hold it in your hands, and we are working with it vibrationally to raise the awareness, the consciousness in that issue, and to move it into levels of such awareness that new ideas, new solutions, new wisdom occurs to these dear ones. This, we would say, is more an intervention rather than interference. We also seek not to interfere all of us in the Ashtar command and the collective. We see not to interfere. We seek not to harm by trying to manipulate events so that someone's outer path is alleviated in some way that would make us feel better, yet would do them a complete disservice. Massive clearance of the collective shadow body, fallen timelines, inverted consciousness, and limiting belief systems has been ongoing, but especially heightened over the past 2 days. Along with the negative entities, aliens, energies, frequencies, interference patterns, reversals, artificial materials, and signals. And it's so small feat, yet it's also coming to its final completion. Better to hide somewhere in a cave as the lower energies release, but no matter what may be perceived. The golden timeline and one true natural ascension realities have been fully anchored, activated, and are coming online now. As we start to feel truly at home and safe in our body, on this earth, no matter what goes on around us, is what allows our higher identities and multidimensional self to merge fully as one consciousness with our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. We can see this as a massive final entity removal, soul retrieval, walking, merging, and sorting out process that is happening at a collective monadic level. As the collective consciousness is about to fully remember and unify as one again. The last week especially has brought and allowed us to anchor a whole new level of higher dimensional frequency light and consciousness waves onto the planet for our final rising and ascend out of the fallen realities. As we fully awaken from the quantum dream and remember again. From deep within, as all of our deepest wounds and traumas are being shown to us, allow for their final and full healing to take place as our perception and projections shifts, so do our realities. All that is false and artificial is being purged and revealed for what it is, as we see the truth beyond the lies, manipulations, false perceptions, projections, as we see through the illusions of the old matrix. We reverse everything. Free and sovereign again as our own masters, as we take full responsibility and accountability for all of our co-creations. All of our multidimensional self, all those soul pieces that were lost or stolen, fragmented off, healing. Note that if people cannot find good-natured guides to get them out of the helplessness stage, then they will begin listening to destructive guides that can maybe get them out of this helplessness stage. Or he may listen to shady figures that advise him to engage in illegal or borderline illegal activities in order to become rich. This also means that ideally, society should push forward and make widely available positive role models that can help people get out of the helplessness stage.